Hello and welcome to the coding part for lecture 5. So we are doing the list rendering. So let's go and clone the repository, the React template repository. So I'll just copy the address and then go and clone it. So git clone, then write the address and then give the name of the repository. So we'll create the repository name as React React list rendering. Okay. So the React list rendering is created. Let's go inside React list rendering. Okay, and then if you do ls, we can see this file. Let's expand this one. And then inside the source, we have app.js. Okay, so we'll work in here. Um, so you'll see three examples that we have discussed in the previous lecture. One is the ordinary list, one is the list of objects, and another one is the nested list. Okay, so one thing with the Windows user, because the Mac get the Git by default with the operating system. So if you want to clone the repository as a Windows user, you need to install the Git. Okay, so I will link the Git installation link in the description. Okay. So let's go and start our work. So let's say we create a new component. Um, Here, we'll say list example. Okay, create. Um, so we need to install some dependencies, right? So we'll do npm install, and then we'll do npm start as we do for all the coding part. Npm start, and it shows. Oh, list example is not defined, so we did not create it. So let's create the list example. So that's the components we need to create. So write function list example. So this is the function, and then we need a return statement. Um, and then inside the return statement, we write the fragment symbol. Okay. And now it should show no error. Okay. So now there is no error. Now let's say that we create an objects, JavaScript object here. So let's say constant courses, and so here we just write an array of course code. So write CS. So let's copy this CS so that we can write multiple times. Okay, so so this is our courses at in our university. So we'll start student with 101, which is the basic Java. 102 is that data structure in Java, and CS 140 the C++, and then CS 200 is advanced data structure with C++. Okay, let's say that we want to iterate this JavaScript list in the React JSX. Okay, so we know that we need to use the map method, right? So let's say that we want to list them in an ordered or unordered list. I mean, if you want, you can also do it under the P paragraph, any tag. Okay, so we'll create an ordered list. Okay, so write OL, and then under the OL, okay, let's say unordered list because we don't have all the courses. Um, okay, so we can also write something here. Let's say that this is CS core courses. Okay. Okay, so these are the list we want to create in unordered form. So since we need to use the map, so map is a JavaScript function, right? So we need to write this expression. So now we can write courses.map function, and then inside of it we need to create a callback function. Okay, so we can say that user defined name each of them as a course, and then we can optionally also get the index, which is the array index, and then since we also want to return, so you write this one. And then here we are writing as a list item. And inside the list item, we want to show the course. Okay. So first I'll show you that without giving the index, and we'll see that whether we are getting any error if we don't assign the key property for the list item. It shows fine, right? So now if I do refresh, and here you see that it's giving an error. Each child in a list should have a unique key props. Okay, so it's because since the React work in a virtual DOM, so it doesn't want to update the entire list if there is one child is updated, right? So when you have the unique key, so it can go and update that child. So he doesn't need to render the entire list because just one child is updated. Okay, so that's why this is a very important property. So write key, and then here the key is the index. Okay, so now although we are not showing the index, it's just giving this property to the child. So now it's fine. If you do refresh, there is no error. Okay, so that's the very straightforward. We just have the array of items, right? Now let's say that we go a little bit more in depth. Let's say that usually the course will have some other information, like each course will have course code, which is in here. Course will have course title and credit hour, like this. So if you want to create that, let's say that instead of this, let's comment out this part, and then we create a more comprehensive course information. Let's say that this is array of courses, and each course is basically a list. Okay, so this is my property. So like the course will have course code, and then okay, and then we'll have the title, um, and then we'll have credit. Okay, so let's say this is a number, so I'll not write in the string. Okay, let's say that these three information. Okay, so since I want to just copy paste, so for, let's say that we write for the four courses. Okay, so now write the information. So like it's like CS 101, and this is introduction, intro programming class in Java, intro programming, and then let's say this is the 4 credit hour. And now this one is CS 102, and this is the data structure uh, in Java. And then say, let's say this is 3 credit hours. Okay, so now we'll say CS 140 is say C++. And then let's say that this is also 3.0 credit hours. And then we have another course is CS 200, which is say advanced data structure in C++. And then let's say this is also 3 credit hours. Okay, so that's our courses. Now each course is not just an array element. This each of that element is also an object, right? So what you're going to do here, let's say that so this is the element, right? So the course, and then that's fine, we can just write like this, but we need to go inside and then fetch the information, right? So let's say that we write course code. Okay, so we need to write course.code. Okay, and then we can see the course code are there, right? And then let's say that we also want to write each course has a title. Okay, so the course code, and after that we have a course title. And then if you want to give a colon here, that okay, each course code, and then after colon, and then course title. And then let's say that you also want to give the course credit dot credit. Okay, and then it shows the credit hours for each of the courses. So let's say that you want to write hours. Okay, so that's basically how many hours? So 4 hours, 3 hours, and so this is how we render. I mean, you can render whatever way you want to render it, but I'm just showing you that how the map method works. Okay, so here you see that because each of the element is an object, so we need to write the object name and then dot property. Okay, object name and dot property. Okay, so that's how you can render the list of objects. Okay, so let's see that the another example is the nested list. Okay, so for that, let's create another component. Is say nested list component, and then we'll just write here. Okay, so we write function nested list. Okay, so function, and then it must have a return statement, and then we write the fragment symbol here. Okay, and let's say that we create first our nested list. Okay, let's say that we create a list of departments. Okay, so this is an array or list. Inside it, each of them is an object. Okay, so here we have said each department has a name. Okay, so that's the name property, and then we'll write the value later. And let's say that the courses, okay, just to make it simple, say that courses is basically an array. Okay, and then let's say that there will be 3 courses from each department we'll take. Okay, so I'll just copy this one, say 3 times. Okay, now we'll write, say this is the computer science department, let's say that this is the math department, mathematics, and then this is the biology department, biology. Okay, and then this is the course. Like, just write the course code, CS 101, CS 102, CS 140. Okay, so here we write the courses as math, so math 120, so math 120, and then we write math 121, and then we write math 122. Okay, and then let's say that bio 101, bio 120, and then bio 130. Okay, so it's just some random course code. Okay, so now you see that this is an object, right? So this is your outer array, right? And then outer array actually holding objects, and inside the objects we also have another array. Okay, so there's the inner array. Okay, so we need to write the map function 2 times. Okay, so let's do this one. So let's say that we write this one as, so this, let's say that these are the college of liberal arts and science departments, so we write something like LAS department. Okay, and then we'll just write some information about them. So let's say that we write the worded list for the outer list. Okay, and then we need to write the map function. So this is a JavaScript function, so we write the curly braces. Now we write departments dot map, and then map. So we'll take 2 things. One is each of the department, and then index. Okay, and then we want to let's say that each of the department will be under the list item, right? So you write li. Okay, and then inside the li we want to return the department name. So the department is an object, so we need to write department dot name. So write department dot name, and we know that we need to give the key, otherwise we'll get an error. So write key is index. Okay. Now let's see that. So basically we just went through the department name. Okay, we didn't go through the courses. So we'll check that whether this one is working. So I found the error here. It was I wrote like this one. Okay, so that's why. So we need to write like this because this is the property and the value, right? Okay, so now I can see that the department names are here. Okay, let's go now for mapping this one, right? The courses. Okay, so under the department name, we also need to write, so we'll write inside the LI. Okay, so we need to go and do the mapping to the department courses, right? So we'll go and map it with the, so we write department dot courses, okay, and then we'll go here, right? So before that, let's say that we want to create another list. Say this time is an unordered list. So eval, and then the eval will finish in here. Okay. So now, so each of them are basically course. So we'll go that the course in say sub index, and then we'll go here, and then we'll say the list item, and then we write the key is sub index, and then here we'll basically print all the course. Okay, so so what we are doing here, so when we go to the department dot courses, so this is an array, so we'll go to the department dot courses, and then inside of this we are creating a list item, and then we are just printing the course. Okay, and then this is unordered list. Okay, and the department name will be in ordered list. Okay, let's see. So department dot courses is not a function. Department, okay, so department dot courses dot map. Okay, so there is the map is missing. Okay, so now let's see, and it's fine, right? So it's rendered like this one, the computer science, math, and so this is the computer science courses, math courses, and biology courses. So it's came nicely. Okay, so you see that this one is a little bit tricky because we need to map it two times, and then other thing is that you need to write the object's name, and then the object property, which is the course property, and then we need to write the map function. Okay, so although we use the index, but we can also use something like the course name or course code, which are the unique thing to use the key. Okay, because the key should be the unique, and then sometimes maybe the array index position can be changed. So so giving an unique key is the best idea. Okay, but we got an idea. That's how we can render list inside a list, which is called nested list, and we also have seen that how we can do the array of list, right? And then the other one is the ordinary list. Okay, so that's it, and thank you, and see you in the next video.